My name is Siana, and for 23 years, I tried to earn a love that was never meant for me. The final bill came due at my mother's birthday gala, in front of everyone I knew. That night, I didn't just cry. I shattered. And from those jagged pieces, I began to build My name is Siana. The crystal in the chandelier above me seemed to tremble, just like my hands. Speech. Speech, a crowd of my mother's friends chanted, their glasses held high. My mother, Evelyn, glided to the center of the ballroom, the spotlight of attention she was born for. I smoothed the silk of my dress. I'd saved for 6 months for it. Thank you, my darlings, she began, her voice a melodic purr. 50. Can you believe it? A wave of affectionate laughter washed over her. But truly, my greatest gifts aren't the years, but my family. Chloe, my love, come here. My sister floated forward, a vision in blush pink, her fiancé Mason's arm locked around hers. My first miracle, Mother said, cupping Chloe's face. So poised, so accomplished. And Mason, you fit into this family as if you were always meant to be here. A partner any parent would dream of. Mason beamed, nodding at the approving murmurs. I took a small sip of water, my throat tight. Mother's gaze then swept the room and landed on me, standing near the potted fern. Her warm smile didn't fade, it just changed. It became something performative, a mask of mild concern. And of course, my Siana, she said, her voice louder, ensuring every ear turned. The room's focus shifted, and it felt like a sudden drop in temperature. My late-in-life surprise, she continued, and a few people chuckled politely. Still, trying to find her way. We're all just, she paused, a perfectly timed sigh of maternal endurance. We're all just hoping she lands on her feet someday. The chuckle rippled again, sharper now. 100 eyes pricked my skin. I felt my smile, the one I'd practiced, freeze into a grimace. My cheeks burned. The dress I loved suddenly felt like a costume, a pathetic attempt to belong at a party where I was the designated punchline. I didn't run. I just turned and walked, my steps measured, away from the light, toward the dark hallway that led to the library. The hum of the party faded behind me. I pushed the heavy library door, not to go in, but to let its solid wood shield me. I leaned my back against it in the dim hallway, closing my eyes, forcing a breath. That's when I heard them. Chloe's clear, sharp voice, and Mason's low rumble, from inside the library. Did you see her face? Chloe said, a giggle in her tone. I thought she might actually cry this time. The dress was a bit much, wasn't it? Mason replied. Trying a little too hard. She always does. It's pathetic, honestly. The more she tries, the more obvious it is she doesn't belong here. Well, Mason said, and I could hear the shrug in his voice. Someone has to be the charity case. Keeps the family humble, right? Chloe's laughter was a bright, cold bell. Right. Our little philanthropic project. I stood perfectly still. The heat in my face drained away, replaced by a cold so profound it felt like my blood had stopped. Their words didn't cut. They didn't hurt. They landed with a final, heavy thud, like a stone sealing a well. The hope I'd carried, the desperate need to earn my spot, to be seen, it didn't shatter. It simply petrified. Turned to stone inside my chest. The silence in the weeks after the gala was a living thing. I let it swallow me. At dinner, I stopped trying to offer news. Anything interesting happened today, Siana? My father, David, would ask, not looking up from his tablet. No, I'd say. Nothing. He'd just grunt. Chloe, did you finalize the venue walkthrough? They didn't notice my quiet. They reveled in it. I became furniture. A ghost in the home I'd once fought so hard to be noticed in. This silence became my laboratory. I watched. I listened. One evening, Dad was on a loudspeaker call in his study, the door ajar. No, the Henderson merger is a house of cards, his voice boomed, dripping with contempt. Anderson's due diligence is a joke. He's one audit away from professional oblivion, but he's too proud to see it. I froze, a plate in my hand. That was his senior partner he was talking about. Later, Chloe was frantically searching the study. Have you seen my old USC flash drive? She hissed at me. No. It has all my old senior thesis drafts. The final ones. Her eyes were wide with a panic that seemed excessive for a college paper 5 years old. In the living room, Mason was on the phone, his voice low. No, babe, it's just a temporary liquidity thing, he whispered. The investors are skittish. The restaurant group is solid. I just need the bridge loan from your dad's friend to smooth it over. It's just optics. I stood in the shadows of the hallway, the cold stone in my chest humming. Their entire world was a beautiful, fragile shell. A currency of appearances, my father's reputation, my mother's social standing. And it was all cracking under its own weight. My pain didn't ache anymore. It crystallized. It became a plan. I took a job. A job they'd find hilariously mundane. A virtual assistant. Mother said when I mentioned it offhand. How modern. Well, it's good to keep busy. I worked triple hours in my room. I answered emails, managed schedules, built social media campaigns for people whose biggest problem was a lack of time. I saved every penny in an account they knew nothing about. And I studied. I became a scholar of their flaws. When Dad left his computer unlocked, I'd find emails full of veiled threats to junior associates. I'd save them. I found Chloe's missing flash drive. Her final thesis draft was a clumsy patchwork of copied paragraphs from 3 different published articles. I copied the evidence. Mason left a folder of financial projections on the printer. The numbers were a fantasy, the math deliberately fuzzy. I scanned it. I collected these secrets like sharp, precious stones. Each one a sliver of their fragile truth. I bought a small, encrypted drive. I labeled it the blueprint. One night, as the sounds of their easy laughter filtered upstairs, Chloe gushing over wedding lace, Mason telling a boastful story, I opened the drive. I created folders. David, reputation management. Chloe, academic integrity. Mason, financial viability. I uploaded the files. The stone in my chest felt heavy. Solid. Powerful. This wasn't anger. It was clarity. They thought I was nothing. A ghost. A charity case. But a ghost can walk through walls. A ghost can listen. And a charity case has. The money from my invisible job became my weapon. I invested it in myself. I took online courses. Public speaking. Contemporary art markets. Basic corporate finance. I studied the things my family used as social armor, but never truly understood. Their conversations at dinner became my exams. Mason's new venture is in distressed assets, Chloe announced one night. It's very niche. Fascinating, I murmured, and it was. Because I now knew distressed assets were a polite term for things falling apart. I curated a new social media profile. No selfies. Just glimpses, the spine of a book on Rothko, a quote from a business philosopher, a quiet picture of my coffee beside a curated notebook. I called it a work in progress. The likes and follows were from people they didn't know. My family's world was small. Mine was growing. Then, I engineered the meeting. I knew Elena Rossi was my mother's unspoken rival. Where my mother collected social trophies, Elena collected actual art, and the respect that came with it. I visited her gallery 3 Saturdays in a row, always when it was quiet, always asking a single, intelligent question about a different piece. On the 4th visit, she approached me. You're becoming a regular. The O'Keeffe print. It's the composition, I said, my voice steady from 100 practice sessions in my room. The way she isolates the flower. It's not just a bloom. It's a statement of independence in a harsh landscape. Elena's eyes sharpened. Not many see that. I took a breath. Ms. Rossi, I'm doing remote work while I recalibrate. I have organizational and social media skills. I would be grateful for the chance to volunteer here, to learn from you. No expectations. She studied me for a long moment. Volunteer? Consider me an intern. I just want to be around work that means something. A week later, I was organizing her chaotic artist files. A month later, I was drafting her gallery newsletters. To my family, it was a quirky hobby. Sienna's helping at some art place, mother told a friend on the phone, her tone dismissive. It's good for her. Gets her out of the house. At the gallery, Elena became more. You have an eye, Sienna, she'd say, letting me help curate a small wall. And a mind for logistics I desperately need. She was my mentor. My first, real ally. Then came the Caldwell event. Elena hosted a cocktail hour for a new corporate client. I recognized the name, Caldwell Technologies. A major client of my father's firm. I was pouring champagne when I overheard two executives talking. The liability clause in Section 4B is a landmine, one muttered. If we sign this with Anderson's team as is, we're exposed. Anderson. My father's proud, oblivious senior partner. Later, at home, Dad was fuming at the dinner table. Anderson is going to blow the Caldwell account. His arrogance will cost us millions. I looked up from my plate. I heard someone mention a liability issue. In Section 4B. He stared at me. You heard? Where? At the gallery. There was a reception. Some Caldwell people were talking. I kept my voice soft, vague. They seemed worried no one had caught it. He was silent for a full minute. Then he pushed back his chair and went to his study. The next day, he came home almost smiling. You were right, he said, not looking at me. A glaring error. The wedding was a flawless echo of my mother's gala. The same crowd, the same approving murmurs, the same currency of appearance. I wore a simple, elegant dress. I was calm. At the reception, Chloe descended upon me, Mason in tow, her smile glittering and sharp. Sienna. Finally. We missed you during the photos. Her eyes dropped to my empty hands. Where's your gift? I saw it wasn't with the others. I reached into my clutch and pulled out a single, thick cream envelope. This is for you both. Mason took it, weighing it. Feels light. He chuckled, tearing it open. He pulled out the cardstock, his brow furrowed. A QR code? What's this? A donation receipt. It says for your true legacy, Chloe read, her voice losing its melodic tone. She looked at me. What is this, Sienna? Some kind of joke? No joke, I said, my voice even. It's a glimpse of what you never saw. Their curiosity, fueled by champagne and superiority, got the better of them. Mason pulled out his phone, scanned the code. It prompted for a password. Try the date of Mom's 50th gala, I said quietly. Chloe's head snapped up. She took the phone from Mason, her fingers trembling as she entered the numbers. The site loaded. It wasn't a scandal sheet. It was a gallery. My gallery. The first image, my professional portfolio, logos of clients I'd built campaigns for. Next, a screenshot of my banking app balance, a number that made Mason's eyes widen. Then, photos, me with Elena at gallery openings, me speaking confidently to groups at networking events Elena had invited me to. Testimonials from people whose names carried weight in this very room. Finally, a clean, organized list, files named Anderson Audit Risk, Plagiarism Comparison.pdf, Bridge Loan Projections. It was a map of my real life, laid bare beside the evidence of their fragility. Unassailable. Elegant. The final page held no images, just a single line of text in a clean font. You were so busy defining me, you never bothered to see me. I am not your echo. I am my own masterpiece. Chloe's face went paper white. Mason's jaw clenched, the phone shaking in his hand. You little, he breathed. A wave of chaotic whispers started at their table. What is it? What's wrong? My mother rushed over, my father close behind. Darling, what's happened? Chloe just pointed a trembling finger at me, unable to speak. Mason shoved the phone at my father. See what she's done, Dad scrolled, his expression hardening from confusion to dawning horror. Mother looked over his shoulder, her hand flying to her throat. Sienna, this is malicious. After everything we've done for you. What have you done? My father's voice was a low, dangerous growl. I looked at them, Chloe, shattered, Mason, furious, my parents, aghast. I felt nothing but a calm, bottomless pity. The stone in my chest was gone, replaced by quiet air. I lived, I said, my voice carrying in the sudden hush around us. While you were all busy mocking the ghost in the hallway, I was building a life. A real one. That website isn't an attack. It's my RSVP. I'm declining your narrative. You'll ruin us. Chloe finally spat, tears of rage in her eyes. No, I said, gathering my clutch. Your secrets are still safe with me. They're just not yours alone anymore. That's the gift. The understanding that I chose to walk away with the truth, and I chose to let you stay. My masterpiece isn't your downfall. It's my freedom. I turned and walked. Not quickly, not like a victim fleeing. I walked like an artist leaving a finished exhibition, her work speaking for itself. I didn't look back at the stunned silence, the hollow confusion on their faces. I walked into the clean night air, the sound of their crumbling world already fading behind me, replaced by the most profound, most beautiful silence I had ever known. My own.